Hello， 大家好，我係 Felix 重量聯行國際住宅部嘅同事。咁其實咧，我哋而家開始咧係做多咗澳洲佢哋嗰啲物業嘅。咁其實澳洲物業咧，其實個個客咧都係買緊啦 Sydney 啦、Melbourne 啦。咁但係其實而家好多地方咧，就更加多人去買嘅，例如就 Brisbane 啦、Perth 咁呢啲。咁所以咧，我哋呢次咧就 take on 咗一個咧就 Brisbane 個 project。咁我哋就開始其實就同好多唔同人講下啦。咁但係咧好得意喎，原來我發覺我自己重量聯行香港公司入邊咧係好多同事咧，其實本身都係澳洲 background。咁當然咧佢哋係當地人嚟嘅。咁咧我幫佢介紹下先。咁咧伊萊，咁咧佢就係我哋香港重量聯行，咁就IT 部門嘅同事嚟嘅。Hello, Eli. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Felix?
Yeah. I just wanted to quickly ask you a little bit questions. So first of all, what's your background? And how long have you been living in Australia and also in Brisbane?
Yeah, so I'm Australian, so I was born there, and I lived there for about 25, 26 years before moving overseas. I came to Hong Kong about 10 years ago, and before that I was in Shanghai as well. But even though I was in Australia for 25, 26 years,
yes.
I lived in Brisbane for about 7 of those years.
Okay. So you lived in Brisbane for 7 years. Yeah. So what made you move to Brisbane at the time?
My mum's side of the family was from there. I grew up very close as well, about 2 hours drive south.
Okay.
But after high school, I went there for work.
Okay. So that's for the work reason. How was it actually in Brisbane?
I had a lot of fun. First time out of home.
Yeah.
And living and making new friends in a new city.
Okay.
Was very fun.
Okay. What the rental market there back then? So you were living in Brisbane
yes,
since when?
Yes, I moved there in 2004, so quite a long time ago now, about 20 years. So obviously the rental market has increased a little bit since.
How was it back then actually? Was it expensive?
It was relatively affordable. I would say compared to your Sydney or your Melbourne. But I think now it's become a bit more expensive.
Yeah, I'm guessing you still have many friends living in Brisbane, right? So how's the rent, etc.
Yeah, so most of my friends have bought a property now. So they're out of, I guess, the rental market and own property and investment for themselves. And they're quite happy as investors there as well.
I see. Brisbane is also a very big city as well. So where do you live in Brisbane?
Yes, I actually lived in a couple of locations in Brisbane. On the north side, Wooloowin, Clayfield, Ascot, and also just on the south side in Kangaroo Point, as well along the river there.
Yeah, I see. How's Kangaroo Point? Do you like it?
I like it because you get nice breezes from the river, nice city views as well, and over towards the east you've got nice sunrises in there. But Brisbane for me is a very, in the inner city there's a lot to do. Walkways that sort of go all along into the CBD, into South Bank, where you can walk or ride, or they have scooters now that you can rent and just take whatever you want.
Many people want to know in Kangaroo Point especially, does it attract more local families to live here, or does it actually attract more international people to live here?
There's a bit of both. I would say there's a big share of local families who buy and live and own occupiers there, along with a mix of renters as well. And there's a college called Charlton College that does have a few international students as well.
I see. So I know you now live in Hong Kong, and also you used to live in many cities in Sydney as well. Okay, so how do you compare Sydney and Hong Kong and also Brisbane?
Yeah, I would say that Sydney and Hong Kong are definitely much more energetic and much more vibrant. Having said that, Brisbane is a much, I would say, more lifestyle city. It's a bit more relaxed. There's a lot to do, and especially in the last sort of 10, 15 years since I was living there, has increased in terms of the number of restaurants and the outdoor lifestyle and that sort of thing. Weather-wise, I would pick Brisbane. Sydney's maybe a little bit too cold in the winter. Hong Kong's a little bit too humid.
Both Brisbane and Sydney, they are on the east side of Australia. So how did the weather so different?
It's a bit further north, Brisbane, so it's about 1,000 kilometres, 1,002 kilometres north, so about an hour and a half plane ride, and that keeps it a little bit warmer in the summer and the winter.
Oh, I see. Thank you so much, Eli. 今日咧其實咧就我哋好簡短嘅分享嚟嘅啫。咁其實咧我哋下個禮拜四咧我哋就係一個 seminar 嘅。咁其實咧除咗伊娜會喺度之外啦，咁你可以問下佢有一個當地人究竟當地嘅生活係點？因為其實我哋而家見到好多人買物業都係想過自己住啦，或者俾自己啲同學住嘅。咁我哋都邀請咗我哋澳洲當地嘅 team 咧係過嚟香港咧同啲客人咧一齊去傾下偈咁樣嘅。咁樣有機會話咧，咁我哋就下個禮拜四喺我哋仲量聯行寫字樓呢度見面啦。咁多謝晒大家先。Thank you so much, Thank
you.
Bye.
To buy or not to buy off-plan or local properties, assess the risk before you buy. 境外樓花買唔買，計過風險先好買。